I'm on him every game about that, man.
Same. And like, you're
Sabonis,
7 foot something, bro.
I
Jump, bro.
know.
Move your feet.
I'm like, yes, jump. Whenever someone does a layup or a jump shot close by, he just looks up like this. I'm like, put a hand up. Even if you don't block the shot, you're contesting the shot. Before we get going into the episode, real quick, as we're gearing towards the end of season 3, man, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that is tuning in, watching, commenting, all that. It may not be much because this is a smaller podcast compared to others out there, but like for real, I still appreciate the support. So respect to you guys. And I'm going to do something a little different before we go into the episode. I'm going to hit you with some encouragement, some Bible in the beginning before we go into the episode. So here it is. This is something that I taught on this morning, is from Romans 6:23 that says, "For the wages of sin is death, but the free gift of God is eternal life in Christ Jesus our Lord." So when I taught that this morning, I was focusing on the word but, kind of in a comical way, but it makes sense. The Bible here has a big but in it. So the beginning of that verse says, "For the wages of sin is death, but." So when you have the word but in a sentence like that, it usually will negate what was previously said. And then it continues on saying here, "The free gift of God in Christ Jesus our Lord," meaning that grace in Jesus cancels out the debt of sin. So just rest in the but of the Bible. Like, I want you to know that big but. I want you to know that the Bible has a big but. All right, now on to the episode. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back into the Seventh Man Up podcast. I'm your host, Alex Burleson. We got a real fun one today. We got my boy Tan back again. What's going on, man?
It's going on, man. Back to back, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's good to have you on again, bro.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me again, man. I still remember the first one, man.
Always, always. Yeah, I
Always.
remember that first one too. I was looking back on it a while ago. We weren't able to do the video portion of it, but it was still fun to have you on. So starting it off here, like before we started, just said this was going to be an all Kings episode. So with that in mind, let's go back to the end of the regular season. What stood out to you throughout the season that we just ended?
Just our young guys coming in, playing our
Yeah,
young guys. Neek playing, Devin Carter playing, Cardwell, Max.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like those young guys too. I was really impressed with Nick Clifford, with Maxime Reynaud, and even with Devin Carter. Devin Carter was really well. Did you see that
yeah,
he got rid of his hair?
yeah. He
Finally.
got his fresh cut breakout season.
Breakout season. I think so too. Yeah. Devin Carter really, he showed up big time, and we were loaded at the guard position, honestly, and I think we still are kind of.
Yeah,
But Devin Carter, I think, really showed he belongs in this league. And I tweeted it a while ago. He, I think, was just a late bloomer. I think he's still going to have a good career. Do I see him being a superstar? I'm going to be honest, no. But I think he's going to be your average Joe NBA player that sticks in the league for like 10, 12 years.
yeah. I agree with you, bro. He's more of a solid role player you could use. Nothing flashy.
Yeah, yeah. Only time you'll ever see him really start is if he's a starter's injured and then they need him to start a few games while the other player recovers from injury. I don't see him
Right.
ever being like, this is where I see Devin Carter. I see Devin Carter being what the name of this podcast is. I see him being a seventh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. What stood out to you about the other rookies, Nick Clifford and Maxime Reynaud?
Just like their play style, man. They
Yeah.
just all they need is they need their confidence up. That's about it.
Yeah, yeah. And part of that confidence is playing time, which I do applaud Yes, I know we've given Doug Christie crap all season long, but I think where he did succeed is letting the young guys play. Once he realized the season was over, I think he was like, all right, enough of this. Let's just let the young guys play. And he did. Even like when the Kings were close in games, he would ride out the young guys. He'd be like, DeMar, you're not playing. Russ, you ain't playing.
Right.
And like what's the cool thing about that? Sometimes the TV would pan to the bench and like, yes, they're not playing, but DeMar DeRozan, Russell Westbrook, they're all into the game. Like I love it. They're cheering for the guys. They're upbeat about it.
Right. So, yeah.
But speaking of that, one thing that did stick out with me watching that from the sidelines, I always noticed when they would cut to the sidelines and you see everybody hyped up for the young guys, my eyes always go to Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine looks like he does not want to be
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
His facial expressions, the way he is, it just says like, hey, I'm bored. I don't want to be here. And
Yeah.
who wants a player like that?
I don't think anyone wants a player like that, man.
Yeah. Not just the player, but a teammate. Like teammates, you're supposed to be supportive of your guys. And yeah, we're just speaking from the surface level of things. We don't know really behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, you never know. He could be that supportive. He just doesn't show it. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Just like, yeah.
We see what's on the surface level.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what Zach LaVine has been showing me, that he just doesn't want to be there. He doesn't care. He's only really going to buy into his final year of the contract just to get the money.
And we still don't know anything about that yet. Still,
Reports that he's gone back and forth. He's like, I'm going to opt in. And then we hear another report where he's unsure if he's going to opt in or opt out. Yeah. What's your thoughts on Zach LaVine coming back or not?
I mean, if he comes back, man, I don't know, man. I mean, this is a 1-year deal anyways, but it's
Yeah.
40 million.
I know that's
I
a
don't really,
crap
I
ton
really
of
hope he
money.
doesn't come back.
Yeah, I hope not too. And speaking of that, all these future lineups that I see and mock drafts of like the Kings and what their potential lineup could look like next year. The funny thing, I don't see Zach LaVine in any of them.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, I always see like the potential lineup is whoever we get in the draft: Nick Clifford, Keegan Murray, Sabonis, maybe Russ if we keep him. But yeah, only in a handful of potential lineups I've seen names like DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. I still see Keegan Murray, I still see Domantas Sabonis, but Domantas Sabonis, I like him, but I think his time in Sacramento is running
Yeah.
out, if I'm
Yeah.
being honest.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, 100%, man. It's time to move on, man.
I think it's time. It was a short run. Like, for real, it was a short run, but we had success with him.
Yeah.
We had success with him. What was it? 2 seasons ago, he went on, what was it, a 66 game double-double streak?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 66 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like the guys that we already have on the team so far. I love the potential that Nick Clifford can give us. Maxime Reynaud. Maxime Reynaud to me screams potential superstar. I'm going to be honest there.
I
More
can
than
see it.
more than Nick Clifford.
I think his potential can be that, yeah.
It's that early that where that could be a hot take. I do see Maxime Reynaud being a potential superstar in this league.
Facts.
Yeah. Will it happen?
We don't know.
Will it happen
Hopefully.
now, or will it happen like 3 or 4 years from now? We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. Next season he could come out and look like Joel Embiid. Now that would be scary.
Yeah, that'd be scary.
That would be scary for the league. Did you see that report a while ago where, what was it? I saw a news report saying that Joel Embiid's name is swirling around in Sacramento circles.
Yeah, I heard about that. Like, we trade a Sabonis for him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's the same player you're getting. Just, he's not healthy.
That's very true. Yeah. I didn't think about
That's
that
what's
until you
scary.
said it.
Yeah, that's what's scary because if he gets hurt out for the season, you basically like you lost your game.
Yeah.
Like the season's over.
Yeah, very true. And I got to give Joel Embiid props, though. Yes, he gets a lot
Still,
of
yeah.
flack from fans and the media, but he fought hard to
Oh yeah.
actually play.
Brother
Like, if
was
he,
laying down, getting stretched out.
yeah, dude. Yeah,
Yeah, he was pulling his heart out, man. I gotta give him props for that.
very true. And I said that about him in my previous episode. And Joel Embiid, if you remember when he was drafted, he didn't play till 3 years after he got drafted, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Well, consistently. I think he tried to play a little bit, but then injuries kept setting him back. And then I think it was his third year where he started to really play consistent games.
right.
Yeah. But he's come a long way. So, yeah, I do got to give Joel Embiid props. And yeah,
Yeah.
if he can stay healthy, I would
I mean,
love
yeah.
him on the
Oh yeah.
Kings.
I'd take Embiid over Sabonis every day if he's healthy.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even when Sabonis is healthy, he's
Yeah.
just as good. I don't think he
I think the only thing is that he lacks confidence. Like
I
he's
could
not
see
taking like
that.
his shots like he used to. I don't really
Yeah.
like taking that many threes.
Yeah, I don't like him taking threes either.
Maybe take two, but don't take no more than two.
Yeah. I remember when the coaching staff a couple years ago was trying to get him to take what, like 6 or 7 threes a game. I'm like, no,
No, no, we don't need that.
no, he's a mid-range and post guy.
We need that guy back, bro.
Yeah. That's his play style. He's a Vladi and a Chris Webber type of player. Down in the post, and if he does take jump shots, it's from that 16 to 18 range. But yeah, so I like that debate right there between Embiid and Sabonis.
And then yeah, his defense is not good. That's also a concern.
Oh my gosh, I'm on him every game about that, man.
Same. And like you're
Sabonis,
7 foot something, bro.
I
Jump, bro.
know.
Move your feet.
I'm like, yes, jump. Whenever someone does a layup or a jump shot close by, he just looks up like this. I'm like, put a hand up. Even if you don't block the shot, you're contesting the shot.
Right.
You see guys even smaller than him put a hand up and they change the direction of the shot. Like, heck, going back years, do you remember that one highlight of Nate Robinson when he blocked Yao Ming?
Yeah, I remember that. That was crazy.
I'm like, give some of that effort on the defensive end.
I don't think we'll ever see a player like Nate Robinson again, bro.
I don't think,
That's a
yeah,
whole different type of athleticism right there when he played
I
for the
know.
Knicks.
Yeah. Nate Robinson was good. Winning 3 slam dunk championships. Crazy. I still remember the first one that he did. This is when the NBA dunk contest had unlimited tries and dunks.
Yeah.
And there was this one dunk that he would throw off the glass, right? And he couldn't get it right. And it took him, I think, like close to 20 tries to get it. And
I remember that.
that's all on national TV. Like the camera was just there being, I bet you anything the cameraman was like, come on, just finish the dunk. And then that's when they started to put time limits on dunks.
I think it should just be removed. Dunk contest is not really what it used to be anymore.
Yeah, I like the dunk contest, but I like when there's flair to it. Like this past season's dunk contest was a snore fest.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like, you had Jason Richardson's son, and I thought he was going to be something, but no. And then you had the one guy who I thought was going to make something of himself in the dunk contest, Jackson Hayes from the Lakers. He basically did nothing. All of his dunks were like dunks you would see in a game.
For real, man. That was bad, bro.
Yeah. And I kind of get why NBA stars say they don't want to do the dunk contest because they're the face of their teams, the face of the league. They don't want to jeopardize their image. I get that at the same time, but also you want to put a show on for the fans. The dunk
Right.
contest the past few years, unless if you're really into the NBA like us, the casual won't know who Jace Richardson is. The casual won't know who Jackson Hayes is. In the dunk contest, we want names like Zion Williamson in there. We want Ja Morant. We want players like that. Players that have a name to the
Right.
casual fan.
Speaking of John Romero, I'm hearing rumors about that too.
I've been hearing that too, but I don't know.
I'd trade Zach LaVine for him if they would accept it.
Do you really think Memphis would accept Zach LaVine?
I think they would want to get off John Morant. I don't know if they want him.
Yeah, that would be a very interesting deal, John Morant for Zach LaVine. I think with us, we would have to throw another player and or picks in there to
Yeah,
kind of sweeten the pot because John Morant just for Zach LaVine, I don't think the Grizzlies would
yeah,
go for that.
no.
I would want them to. I think we would be getting the better end of the trade if that was the case.
Maybe we could trade like the pick. We could give our pick to them, then like swap picks, maybe.
Yeah, because,
Maybe they want to move
yeah,
down.
the Grizzlies, I think, have the fourth pick.
Yeah,
I'm not positive. I need to look that up again
yeah.
in post. I'll put it on the screen. But yeah, I think they have the fourth pick. So if we did that,
Just
say
yeah,
we Zach LaVine and we swap picks, I don't know. I think that's something they'd consider, quite honestly.
yeah. I think they would consider it.
Yeah. So if Scott Perry does want to put that on the table, Scott, if you're hearing this, put it on the table.
Let it fly, man.
Let it fly. Yeah, bro. So going into the draft, I know we're all NBA guys, and the only time we really pay attention to college players is March Madness and the draft. But who are you liking in this year's draft for us at potentially number 7?
I like Acuff. He's nice.
Yeah.
He could score. He's good too. There was another guy. I forgot what his name was. Wagler. There's one more. There's another guard. I think it starts with an L. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look at that again. He was a guard, yeah.
The two names for the Kings that I've been hearing is Acuff and Kingston Flemings.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is that through even the early stages of the draft combine, Acuff has really been impressing, and he might, I hope not, he might go as early as number 4.
That's interesting. But I don't know if I don't know if Memphis would do that though. Then they would have to trade Jaw.
Yeah, then they would have to.
Unless they want to put Acuff as shooting guard, but I don't know if he's
He's too small
tall.
for a shooting guard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He's too small for a shooting guard. I think how there's so many multi-position players lately.
Yeah.
This is the con I see with Acuff. I think even if he is a superstar generational talent, which is really putting him high up there, I think the only position that he'll really be great at is the point guard. Where if you look at players like AJ DeBonsa and Darren Peterson, they can play
Yeah.
more than one position,
Right.
which I think is why they've been so high on people's boards over the years, even going back to their high school days.
Right.
Yeah. Because with AJ DeBonsa, he can play the 1, he can play the 2, he can play the 3, and he needs to bulk up though for today's NBA, but in a few years I can see him playing like a stretch 4. Yeah.
Hearing the Wizards want to trade their pick too.
I've been hearing that too, but if I'm the Wizards, I keep that pick.
Yeah.
I keep that pick.
That team could be really sneaky good next year,
Yeah. Yeah.
this coming season.
Yeah, and even as a diehard Kings fan, like I'm an NBA fan, I've always kind of kept low tabs on the Wizards to see what they do. And with how they're looking, I can see their rise being potentially like how the Detroit Pistons rise was. They were bad, 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 and then they slowly started to get good.
Yeah. They got some guys over there
They
in
do.
Washington that could get buckets.
They do. I'm not a fan of him, but I think that he'll be good for them is Trae Young, Alex Sarr. He had a decent year, not the
Yeah.
best. He's kind of a late bloomer. People thought he was going to be really good, but his draft class was one of the weaker draft classes.
Yeah, it was.
And then I'm hearing rumblings that Anthony Davis already
Yeah, I don't think he wants to be there.
Yeah,
He said,
depending
I wanna win a trophy, man."
yeah, and depending on how they
Yeah,
start the season, I can see him already asking for a trade because he's another one of those names that even casuals know because of how he rose to stardom in the NBA. Even before he got to the NBA, Anthony Davis was one of the few still in college to be
yeah,
on the USA national basketball team.
fact.
So, yeah, I think he does want to go somewhere where he can win a ring like right now.
That's the thing, what team would even wanna take him? That's what interesting.
Yeah, like would a potential backcourt of him and Embiid in Philly make sense? I don't know. Him in Denver with Jokic, a front court of him and Jokic, because throughout his career, Anthony Davis has always said that he doesn't like to play the five. He has
Yeah, he wants
always
to.
he's always seen himself as a power forward.
Right.
Well, that might have worked maybe like 10 or 15 years ago, but with his size and play style, and with how smaller the league is now, he is more of that five, whether he likes it or not.
Yep.
Even the pictures that I've seen when he did those team photos, he looks weird in a Wizards uniform. He does not look
Yeah.
right.
No.
And he's going to wear number 23. The last Wizards player to wear 23 was Jordan.
Facts.
Anthony Davis in Washington is going to be weird to see, even if he does play. Like Trae Young fits the mold more than Anthony Davis in Washington.
Yeah.
So, out of potential players around the league that could be on the market this offseason, who do you think the Kings should go after? Free agency and or a trade? Because right now we don't even know players that are free agents, restricted
Right.
or unrestricted.
Let's see. I know one for sure, John Morant. I would want him.
Yeah.
Who else?
He was injured a bit this year, but one player that I would love on the Kings, he's kind of a lower tier player, but he does have his moment, is Jared Vanderbilt from the Lakers.
Yeah. I
But
wouldn't mind Jared Vanderbilt, but I don't
yeah,
know. He just got hurt too.
yeah, that's the thing that kind of making me kind of iffy on it. Like he's had a good career just this past season. Injuries got him, but players can always bounce back from injuries. But you never know how they'll come back after they've been injured for a while. And let me tell you, injuries took a hold on players this year.
Yeah.
Lillard was out the whole year. Tatum miraculously came back from an Achilles injury and then played throughout the playoffs. And then he decided to not play the entire season because of what happened in the finals last year, talking about Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how the Pacers do. They didn't even get a draft pick.
No, they lost it, bro.
They
They went to the
lost it.
Clippers.
I know.
That's pretty crazy.
I think that draft pick was part of the Zubac trade.
It was.
Yeah, they probably wish they didn't trade that pick
Yeah.
because I think it was a protected pick too. They just did so bad where they couldn't keep the
Yeah.
pick.
Yeah.
But we'll see how the Pacers do. Like with Halliburton coming back, I've always been a fan of Pascal Siakam. But Zubac is a good player. He doesn't get the credit that he should
Yeah.
because
He's
of
solid.
He's very solid. He's just been surrounded by players that kind of overshadow him throughout the years. He's been kind of overshadowed by players like Serge Ibaka. He's just been overshadowed by some guys. And I think in Indiana, he can really shine. And Zubac is another player that likes to play in the paint. He's another Sabonis type player where he's not on the
Yeah.
perimeter all that much. Yeah. What's your thoughts on the playoffs so far with Minnesota getting kicked out by the Spurs?
Yeah. That was expected.
That was expected, but I was really wanting Minnesota.
Minnesota to win too, bro. But Anthony Edwards has no one next to him, bro.
He really
Julius
doesn't.
Randle was garbage, bro. Then Dante went down.
Yeah.
You're not gonna win.
Yeah,
with that
and you're
roster.
right there. In today's NBA, back then it used to be you'd be good if you had a solid backcourt player, like a star point guard, and then you had like a star power forward or a star center. In today's NBA, you need a double star backcourt if you want to do
Yeah.
good. and
Yeah,
he just doesn't have that.
yeah,
And my friend told me this, that I had to stay true to my word. And I do remember saying this in the beginning of the season, where my prediction, my guess of who will make it out the West was the Timberwolves. And the Timberwolves got so close.
yeah,
Like, even when I was going to change my guess, my friend was like, hey, you got to stick to your word. And I was like, okay, all right, I'm
yeah.
sticking to my word. But yeah, the Wolves, they they
That's a
they need another star player in the backcourt. Yes, they got Julius Irving, not Julius Irving, Julius Randle. Dr. J is retired. They don't got Irving. Oh my gosh. Gotta think before you speak.
yeah,
Julius Randle and then Rudy Gobert. But yeah, Dante DiVincenzo, that was a big miss for them in the playoffs. When he went down,
yeah,
I was like, all right, they'll really need to pick it up now. But even Dante DiVincenzo, he isn't even that star-studded player that they need. Yes, he's decent when he's healthy, and he isn't even an offensive player. Dante DiVincenzo really shines on the defensive end. So
uh,
this offseason, they'll need to hunt for another backcourt player,
yeah.
or
Io's also a free agent. I think he said Io he was having a good year too. He said I'm going to test free agency.
he was having a good year. I remember him on the Bulls, and then he went to the Wolves, and the Wolves is where he really shined. And sometimes players just need a change of scenery to really get it done. And so he did good for the Wolves. I wouldn't mind him. I think that would be a
Yeah,
low risk move on Scott Perry's end. I think we could easily get him for like a 2 or 3 year deal. So him would be good. Free agency will be really interesting this year because let's be real, as Kings fans, we don't get the best of luck when it comes to players wanting to come to Sacramento. Like, I was ecstatic when the news came that Malik Monk wanted to sign with us. And part of that was because of the friendship that he had with De'Aaron Fox. But kind of like what all players have said that have come through Sacramento, they love it in Sacramento. Yes, the franchise may not be the best, but the Sacramento city and the areas around Sacramento, players have said is some of the best in the league for city-wise. Yeah. Like, I bet you anything, there's nice areas of Detroit. There's nice areas in Sac. I bet you anything there's nice areas of Minnesota. But yeah, cities get a bad rep in the league, unfortunately, because of the franchise itself. I'm really looking forward to what happens in the draft. I saw a tweet the other day saying that the Kings, if a deal comes up, they might trade that 7th pick. And it seems like news like that comes up every year, and we never trade the pick. We always keep the pick. So I'm like, all right, I'm not expecting a trade. We're going to keep the pick anyway. We're just going to get the pick and then wait till free agency and see what happens. I know that you commented on my post right there on my Instagram. Back-to-back MVPs for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like, what the heck? He's getting an MVP basically for free throws. He's a fake hard player. He flops a lot. What I love about that is comparing the two, like SGA just blatantly flops. There's been a few times in these playoffs when I've seen De'Aaron Fox get hammered at the rim and he's not getting the call. And then they show him talking to a ref, and there was this one clip where you can completely read his lips. And to the ref, he's like, if you want me to flop, I'll flop. He blatantly tells that to a ref. I don't blame him. That was even, okay, that I do respect by the refs. They're calling it the same, De'Aaron Fox being on the Spurs compared to him on the Kings. He wasn't getting any calls on the Kings as well, and he's the same thing. He's not getting any calls as a Spur. Well, everybody, I gotta say, it's been fun with you, Tan. And I got to say, as always, remember, stay up with them threes up. Love, joy, and peace. See ya.